We're going to be live here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a live episode of Guns and Guitars. Sorry I was late. I was trying to set up this new audio interface and I was having difficulty getting the settings correct. You might notice that my camera boom mic is in the shot. That's because I'm using my audio interface, which is an iRig Stream Mic Pro. And what I actually have going on is I actually have my computer set up with my recording interface, my Focusrite Scarlett, capturing this audio and then sending it via the headphone output into the audio input of the iRig Stream Mic Pro. And that's how I'm able to use this mic instead of the one that is like tethered 3 feet away from my phone. So you guys are unfortunately also hearing a combination of audio, not just from this mic, but also from that mic, because I was able to turn the mix down, but just not all the way off. So this mic is picking up my voice nice and clear. That mic is picking up the room. So I apologize if the audio quality is not great. I need to get the other iRig Stream Pro, the audio interface that I originally intended to get, and I got that one by mistake. But anyway, I wanted to try out this setup and see how it works. So you guys will have to let me know in the chat how it sounds. And if this is a step up from my original wireless lapel that I was using. You guys mentioned that the audio on that was not very good. You might also notice that I'm in my workshop, finally. This is my little 10 by 12 shed that I'm converting into a workshop. And I've done a lot of work on it, and it's still just really messy. So I've got a long ways to go. But something that's really going to help, something that I wish that I had unboxed a while ago, would have certainly been helpful making all these workbenches, is this table saw. I got this table saw from Vevor about 2 or 3 months ago. And basically they saw my video unboxing their planer and their joiner, and they liked it. And they said, hey, we've got a portable job site table saw that we want you to unbox and review. So that's what we're doing today. And I really could put this thing to good use. So I hope that it works really well. And I'm going to get on with it without too much delay, just because I don't really know how much assembly is going to be required on this thing. And I really want to test it here in this video. And so unfortunately, if there is some assembly required, there might be a little bit of time wasted reading instructions and stuff like that, but just bear with me. And also, I want to say I've had this thing for like 2 or 3 months, and I had it outside because my workshop just didn't have enough room for me to be storing it inside. And so I had it outside, and we had some unexpected rainstorms pass through, so this box actually got rained on accident. So if I pull anything out that's got like some light surface rust or something on it, I'm going to blame it on that. I'm not going to blame it on Vevor. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Especially, I know that the blades, they're made out of a high carbon steel, which is really prone to rusting. So if the blade that comes with this thing, which I assume that it comes with a blade, maybe it doesn't, then... So what I'm unboxing here is the folding frame table legs for this thing. So I am pretty excited that it comes with a folding table. For me specifically, again, my workshops are very small, and I'm pretty good at working with small space and just making it work for me. But a table saw, like, you need to be able to like run like a full 4x8 sheet of plywood through it. And I'm not going to be able to do that in my little 10 by 12 shed. Like my door openings are just not big enough to fit a full sheet of plywood in. So being able to have a folding portable table saw that I can store inside and keep it out of the weather, but then move outside on a moment's notice and set up real quick so that I can run some plywood through it is going to be very beneficial. Especially too, since I'm trying to keep this shed specifically pretty much sawdust free. Obviously there's going to be some sawdust, but it's going to be nothing like my other shed. I have another 10 by 12 shed that I'm setting up to be my CNC shed and my sawdust shed. And so all my big sawdust throwing tools and my CNC machines are going in that shed, which I'm going to set up with the dust collection system, and it'll all be good to go. But this shed is going to be mostly like final assembly and finish work on guitars, as well as some other things. Anyway, that's the plan. My plan is always subject to change without notice. So. So this all seems very well packed. I wish I could show you the box. It's not really practical with that camera angle. Ooh, it did come with a wood pusher. I'm very happy about that because I don't have one of those. Pull out some more legs here and take them out of the plastic as we go. So, for sure, the folding table is going to have some assembly required, and I can see that there's spots in there for like little what are they called? The little slip joints, the ball and detent slip joints, but the actual springs are not in there. So that's going to require some assembly, probably in that big box of hardware that I just pulled out. Got our instruction manual here. I'm hoping maybe the actual table saw does not have as much assembly required, because that's really what I'm interested in, is just pulling that thing out and seeing what we have. Getting so close to getting to the actual table saw. Just don't know how to do it. Might have to just cut open this box to make it easier. Let's do that. Out those pieces of plastic. I've got the chat open on my computer. Can't really see it from here, but I might take a break in a minute and field any questions that you guys might have. So my wife, Mrs. Guns, is not in the comments today. She's out picking up groceries right now, unfortunately. I love it when I have her help, especially for videos like these. All right, so we've got the table saw. What do I do with this box? It's a tight area. There we go. Okay. Sweet. Let's throw out this box to make some more room. Oh gosh, I'm gonna knock over my camera. Oh, good. All right, that was pretty successful. Just got to turn around backwards. Let's turn around frontwards. Comes with some vacuum hoses. That's cool. So I could run it in my workshop if I wanted to hook it up to dust collection. Comes with that. That's nice. You guys did see probably the vacuum connection on the back there. It looks like a standard 1.25" shop vac size. So not like your standard dust collection. Of course, you can get adapters to use your 3" or 4" dust collection. All right, let's have a look at this thing. Bring up that blade. The blade is pre-installed. That's pretty sweet. All right. And so there we go, and we can angle it up to 45 degrees. And going back to 0 is don't make a trick. There we go. We'll just go ahead and bring that all the way up, and we'll test how square 0 is. That way, if we need to make any adjustments. It is not quite perfectly square. Maybe I just didn't push it over far enough. There we go. All right, actually overcorrected it. All right, I don't know if it can be adjusted. It looks like it can't because it's just a piece of plastic, but for me, it actually looks like 1 degree is actually 0 degrees. So I'm gonna have to correct by 1 degree all my angles, which is fine as long as I know. So let's see here. Should have a power cord somewhere. Here it is. And as I was setting up my workshops, I tried to be very methodical about where power outlets would be so that power is always within reach without extension cords. So got a power outlet right here. Okie dokie. Let's see what happens. I'm actually going to crank that back down a bit just in case there's something in there that goes flying. It works. It works. All right, I'm going to field some questions real quick. I'll swing this mic around so that you guys can hear what I'm saying. All right, sounds really low. It's a bit blurry. Sounds good to me and looks good. Audio okay. Image quality poor. Image looks good on my end. So yeah, it looks like we've got mixed opinions on whether it looks and sounds good. I'm going to have a look at the camera real quick and see what you guys are seeing. Yeah, the camera to me looks good and looks in focus. So if you've got poor image quality, it might be, it's very possible that it's the upload speed that I have here at my house is not wonderful. It's also possible, since some people are saying that it does look good, that it might be your download speed. Are there any questions about the table saw? Just out of curiosity. Let's see. David Cap asks how big it is. I've got a Craftsman table saw used that works well, but seems a whole lot bigger than this. So because this is a job site table saw, David, it is a bit smaller. So a typical like home workshop table saw would have wider wings, or at the very least have adjustable. Actually, these look like they could be adjustable. Let's find out. See something in here that looks adjustable. Yeah, see, hey, there we go. So we can come out this way. What about this side? Yeah, there's nothing on this side, but you can come out this way, which is nice. Did it come with a fence? It did come with a fence. So again, because it's supposed to be a job site table saw, it's supposed to be portable, so you can take it to your job site. Right. So, all right. And this is our fence. So let me tighten this back down. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay. This locks down. The sliding on this could be a bit smoother. It might just need a little bit of break-in. Or I might need to grease the track or something. Ooh, this is a magnet. Notice that. Interesting. That must be for using a metal sled. Or yeah, like a whatever, table saw sled. It'll hold it right there up against it. It's weird. I mean, it's plastic though. But that's how it works. Interesting. Feel that. going to get caught on something. I'm not sure what. Oh, I lied. It's not a magnet. I think it's just the way it was slipping. Okay, cool. So, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. Oh, my computer went to sleep. I'll let you guys decide. Do you guys want me to take this outside and run some lumber through it? Or do you want to do just some other kind of Q&A? I definitely want to test it. So either I could turn it around and I could blow the sawdust out my workshop front door. Let's do that actually, because I do want to test it. I just don't want to be blowing sawdust all up in here. So let's turn it around. I'm just gonna have to pick a different outlet. So I would say this thing is very lightweight. I mean, as far as table saws go, it's probably because it's mostly made out of what I assume is plastic and aluminum. It feels like plastic and aluminum. So I don't know how heavy duty it is. Let's see, let's move this forward a bit. Move that up a bit. All right. And there are blade guards and stuff that one should use when operating something like this. But again, for the sake of this live stream and keeping it brief and not you guys just watching me read instructions and assemble something, I just want to run some wood through it and test it. So let me go grab a piece real quick of plywood. All right, instead of plywood, grab some MDF, and we'll just run that through and see if I can square off that edge. Step over the power cord here, not very convenient. All right, and we're just gonna, let's see, actually this edge looks straight. This edge is the one that's not straight. So let's go ahead and do that. Lock that up here. So what I'm measuring here, I'm making sure I'm reading this correctly, 10 inches. And I think that's compensating for the extra distance here. I'm actually going to grab a tape measure and verify that. Nope, that reads 8 1/4. So what am I missing here? Oh, I see. There's two different ones. So the 10 inches must be if you're not using this little plastic guide. Yes, that's correct. Okay, exactly 10 inches. And then there's another measurement right above it that's if you are using the plastic guide, which reads 8 1/4. So we're going to cut this to 8 1/4. And we shall see. You can bring that blade down a bit still. That'll work plenty well. All right. Cool safety feature. You might notice that every time that I've tried to turn it on so far, I don't quite get it all the way on the first try. They made the start button much harder to press than the stop button. So you have to be very intentional about it. Now it'll try to start, but then it won't. Versus the off button, I just barely tap and it's like, boom, off. Okay, so that was nice and clean. And I blew, oh my gosh, I covered my computer in sawdust. That was not wise. And we have exactly 8 1/4 all the way across. Beautiful. That works great. Fantastic. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. grab my little, since they included a hose, I'm going to hook that in down here. That's how this works. All right. My poor computer. That was awful. And I'm going to find something thicker to cut real quick. Hang on. So here is what I actually want this job site table saw for, I want to cut and join my random offcuts of wood from building guitars. I have these random awkward shapes of just gorgeous wood. This is sisu, which is Indian rosewood. And like, what am I going to use this for? But if I can cut off a clean straight edge and join it, then maybe I can use it to make a coaster or charcuterie board or something like that. I realized I grabbed the wrong tape. That's not double stick tape. And so what I'm going to do is this now 8 1/4 inch board is now going to be my sled that I can use for cutting this. And I actually need to verify that I actually even have enough depth on the table saw to do this. Oh yeah, no problem. Got all the cutting height in the world. Could go up a bit higher even. It's a 10-inch blade, right? Yep, 10-inch, which gives me a total cutting capacity of 3.5 inches. Plenty. Right there. Okay. Just going to put on some double stick carpet tape here. All right, and so now, if you guys aren't familiar with how to use a table saw sled, basically all I need to do is line this up where I want to make a nice straight cut, which I want it to cut right along there, and maybe to like right there. I'll press that down. Sure. All right. Okay. Safety glasses. See? Doesn't want to turn on. And that's how easy it turns off. I literally just poked it with this thing and went, bam, done. Okay. That works pretty good, guys. This little notch right here is just because I didn't get it all the way over onto the edge of the sled. So that's left over from where I was routing this piece for the guitar that I was building. But that is, I'd say, less than 1 millimeter deep. So I could probably just... I'll probably just shear that off with the joiner that I also got from Vevor, oddly enough, that works awesome. And so when I am done with my workshops, I'm going to give you guys a tour of how I have it all set up, but I have that planer, the joiner set up on my door so that when I swing it out, then I can plane it right there on my door. Just a way that I'm kind of saving space and also preventing this workshop from getting a ton of sawdust, although I'm very obviously throwing sawdust everywhere right now. But that's just for the sake of this live stream. So yeah, this thing is working awesome. At least the initial tests show it. I can't wait to get the folding table together. And then maybe if you guys are interested, you'll have to let me know down in the comments. I can do an update video, whether you want it to be a live video where you can ask questions about it, or if you want a produced video, full review of the job site table saw. I can show you how the folding table and everything works for it, as well as the blade guard and all that stuff, which I'm certainly going to set up and use because I don't like having a really aggressive blade like that just roaming free in the wild. So, in fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and tuck it back down for now. Do you guys have any questions for me while we are here? What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move the mic forward and move the table forward so that I can see your guys' comments and respond to them. So let's see. We have David Cap says, I'm looking forward to builds too, but got to get everything set up. Yep, that is exactly what's happening right now. People say it sounds good, maybe a little fuzzy. Q&A, build updates on what you got coming. Okay. Big Kahuna asked for Q&A or build updates on what I've got coming. So feel free to throw some questions out there if you've stuck with me this long through the live stream. But just updates on what I've been working on. Basically, I've just been working on these sheds. It's been going a lot slower than I want it to. And that's because of, guys, I uploaded a video on, I'm looking down there like you're there, but that's where the comments are. Look right there. I uploaded a video on how YouTube has been, like the climate around being a YouTube influencer is changing. And so I've been adapting. And so I really wanted to spend some time like really methodically setting up my workshops to be a good productive workplace so that I can crank out guitars because that's going to be my main source of revenue. Well, in the meantime, because that's taking a lot longer, just to help make ends meet, I think everyone has gone through a time in their life where they have to pick up a second job just to make ends meet for a while. And so that's kind of what's happened is an opportunity opened up, and I'm not going to go into details about what it is, but I do have another job now, and it's awesome. It's in ministry, and I'm able to serve the Lord, and it's been a great place to work with. I love the people that I work with, and they've been very flexible as far as hours. Like I'm able to work one day from home, which is really nice. So I can still be involved with my kids' education and stuff. But because I've been working a job, I've not been working full-time on setting up my workshops. So it's just gone a lot slower. And it's a bummer because I've had some obligations that I need to fulfill as far as like some sponsored videos or products that have been sent to me to test. For example, this table saw that's gotten put on the back burner just because I don't have my workshop set up. But that's the very quick update on what's going on. So let's see, what else do we see? Hello from Queens, New York. Hey, Carlon 1988, good to see you. Jeff Young, hi Dan, howdy Mrs. Guns. So Mrs. Guns is actually not here. She is out picking up an online grocery order. David Cap says, how's the shop setup going? It's going very slow, but it's going. As you can see, I'm at least in it. I've got power hooked up to it, so that's great. It's drywalled and insulated. This one is. The CNC shed is not going to get the full drywall and insulation treatment just because I don't plan on spending a lot of time in there. This one I'm going to be spending a lot of time in. So thanks for giving me the instructions on making your own tools. I had to make a notch straight edge for my T-Bird style bass from Pitbull Guitars. Hey, that's cool, Carlon 1988. I have a Thunderbird bass from Pitbull Guitars too that I unboxed but have yet to build. And I think I'm going to do a live stream community build with that one. I think it'd be cool. So that's awesome. I'm glad that I was able to help you get a notch straight edge. I'm not going to lie, to this day, that's what I still use for my guitar builds. I have several of these for different scale lengths, and it is the cheapest and most effective way to get a not straight edge. So glad that was able to help you out. Certainly been beneficial tip for myself as well. All right. Rusty Dodge says, fantastic, Dan. So glad to hear all that. Amen, brother. So I think you're maybe referring to the fact that I was able to get a job to help make ends meet. So thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely awesome to see how the Lord's providing for us in this crazy time to be alive. My computer went to sleep again. All right. Thomas says, howdy, Dan. Howdy, Thomas. Good to see you. And Big Kahuna says, congrats on being able to do something you're passionate about for the second job. Wait, another community build? Yes. Well, firstly, we got to finish the community build that we have, which I've got all the parts, and I think I got my workshop maybe set up well enough that we could at least get started on that. It's obviously not as pretty in here as I would like it to be, but we could at least, I mean, all we're doing is assembling at this point. Got all the parts. So we need to finish up the first community build, and then once I do that, we're going to get a couple other community builds going. I mentioned before that I want to do a morning community build and an evening community build for two different communities in different parts of the world, depending on when they can tune in. So we'll just have to figure out a day and time that works best to try to knock those out. But I think that'd be a lot of fun. So I'm hoping to do that. So yeah, Jeff Young says, looks good so far. Glad to see you're still at it. Tell Mrs. Guns hi and God bless y'all. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. I'll definitely pass along the kind words to Mrs. Guns. Jeffrey Egan says, speaking of community build, how's the 335 coming? Yeah, I just did a quick update on that. It's not progressed at all since the last live stream. I have all the parts. It's ready for assembly. We just got to put it together. So that'll be the next community build live stream will be hopefully the final assembly. And if I don't finish it, which probably we'll do the final assembly, and then we'll do another live stream for the final setup and just a quick sound test. And then I will upload the actual real high quality sound test using recording interface and all that stuff. And then we'll give it away. All right. Yeah, I got to finish that one, says David Cap. All right. All right. Two days take says, do you ever use Sycamore for your base bodies? I like the look and weight of it. You know, I haven't used Sycamore yet, but I do know somebody who built a full neck through, actually one piece Sycamore base. His name is Spike Littlejohn, and he actually has a YouTube channel about it, and you can see it. So it's definitely been done, and I am not opposed to it, but Sycamore isn't a wood that my local suppliers get. You know, I've been using just local sustainably harvested lumber for my builds lately. It's just a way that I'm able to kind of support local business as well as not support cutting down our forests unnecessarily. And so not that I'm like a huge like save the earth kind of person, but I do love the idea of reclaiming and repurposing. So if there's trees that need to be cut down for another specific purpose, like for firewizing, or if it's an invasive species or something like that, then I would rather use that lumber to build an instrument than paying top dollar for something that's been unsustainably harvested. So but that's just my own personal convictions. It really doesn't have anything to do with saving the planet. Just I like the idea of using what's already available. And so, yeah. David says, I'm using Sycamore for a top on my latest build. Yes, it's an acoustic. All right, cool. So I'm excited to see how Sycamore works as a tone wood. I've not heard of that before, but that'll be cool. I'm pretty excited about that. So this live stream has gone on about 35 minutes, so I'm going to call it a day. Thanks so much for joining me. And yeah, this table saw looks pretty great. I'll be sure to give you guys an update on it once I've been able to use it some more. But so far, good enough results, especially for taking it out of the box, not tuning it, truing it, making sure that everything's working the way it should. So I'll go through, I'll clean it up, I'll lubricate it, I'll put together the folding stand, and then we'll do an update video. So thanks so much for joining. I'm Dan, this is Guns and Guitars, and I will see you in that next video.